in our area, we were supposed to get a little winter weather, still dealing with some of it. For us here, very local, we weren't hit so hard. But Chris, Demm, and I both did the same thing yesterday. I was in the grocery store, and I know you were.
And the cereal, the peanut butter, decimated.
It's crushed. The
snack aisle,
crushed yesterday.
I'll tell you, one of the best things about shopping online and never going into the grocery store is Chris Demm and I no longer have to awkwardly see each other.
It's true. Chris Demm goes on Old Folk Day.
That's true. I do go on Old Folks Day.
Well, but we used to, we shop at the same place, and we would occasionally bump into each other. And although we spend way too much time together as it is, there is awkwardness when you see someone you see every day outside of that scenario.
So unless he accidentally wanders into your foyer, you're not going to...
Exactly.
That would be awkward.
Unless I bump into him in my hallway, in which I'll be like, what are you doing here?
Was it bologna and butt wipes? Because you always scan the cart.
Yeah.
You always, when you're talking, no matter who you're talking with at the store, acquaintance, ex-coworker, coworker, you always have to scan the cart, but you're not supposed to say anything.
Right.
That's a lot of wine.
That's true. Oh, I had an embarrassing moment. This is so about seeing somebody at the grocery store. We have a coworker here called Squidward.
Yes.
Because he looks like a character from...
he really does.
SpongeBob.
He does.
That is the most appropriate name.
So they call him Squidward, and if you see him in the hall, he's like, hey, Squid, how are you, whatever. And
he's embraced it.
He has, and I like him. He's a fine
he's a good guy.
good kid. And he has grown his hair out. I'm wanting to talk to him about that. I'm wanting to say,
Keep it up?
No, cut your hair.
Oh, cut it.
Cut your hair, yeah.
But one time, years ago, I went up to somebody else, also an intern here, and I said, you need to cut your hair. And he said, I'm doing it for locks of love. I'm giving it up for cancer research.
This is for people who have cancer and lost their hair.
I wasn't talking to you, I was talking to her. What?
But I haven't approached it with Squidward yet. So yesterday,
Did you inappropriately look at him when he was turned
I've looked at him a few times.
Hey, who's the
Hey,
new girl?
Oh, well.
Whose tight little butt is... Oh.
Ooh, and they're a Dolphins fan.
Someone's been working out.
That's me.
This is weird.
Squidward. Yesterday, we both at the same supermarket. And we were coming in from opposite angles, me with a cart.
Same
him
aisle?
With the same, yes,
Or
same
at the
aisle.
checkout?
Coming in. He was outside on one side.
Okay.
So we're in the little vestibule there.
Right.
And both masked up.
Good.
And I said, hey, Squid. And he didn't say a word. He just turned to I said, Squid. Hey, Squid. Hey, Squidward. And finally he turned around. I was like, that's not him. No. If he had to say, it wasn't him. It wasn't.
You're not just yelling at...
locks?
He did. He had long black hair.
I was going to say, you're not just yelling at guys with long hair, are you?
We were both masked up. And there I have some fool. Hey, Squid! Squidward! And everybody's like shying away from me. And there I am saying that stuff in the grocery store.
Didn't you, one time, we had a sales dude who had long hair.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And didn't you think
I did.
he was standing outside the doorway? And I think you were saying, hey, who's that?
It's me, Jason.
That's right. He would occasionally not wear it in a ponytail.
That's right.
Right.
And when you'd see him, it'd be like, well, who is that?
It's Jesus Jason.
Yeah, Jesus Jason. That's what he looked like. But this guy had mask on up to his nose and beyond. So did I. And I was like, Squid.
Squid, it's me.
Squid. I don't know why I did it. Then I got to checkout, and I was checking it. It was really, really busy. Chris Demm can attest. He was he was in another store. It was very busy. Everything was picked over.
Sure.
And the lady who was bagging up the groceries, I said, what do you think about this winter weather? And she said, I don't watch the news. And I said, oh, okay. Well, that's okay. I guess we're not going to, can't even discuss it then.
I wonder why I fell 3 times. Thanks. You don't watch the weather.
She said, I do not watch news.
I like to be surprised.
She goes, I don't watch news of any kind.
Is that why we're busy?
That's why I said, that's probably why you're so busy.
Really?
Yeah.
Matter of fact.
I told her I had to be the one to relay it to her, But did you get your senior citizen?
I did, yeah.
Okay.
Finally,
Yes.
the nice lady at my register said at the very end, "Do you qualify for any discounts?" And I said, "As a matter of fact,
all right,
I do. I'm a senior." And she said, boop, boop.
Finally,
and she just entered a little key, and on your way.
This is the first time they've celebrated him going in for a senior citizen discount.
I wondered why I smiled like the Grinch for no reason yesterday.
He's gone.
Chris Demm finally getting his discount as a senior.
Got his discount yesterday in there.
It's 5%.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty
How
good
come they don't
deal.
offer that all the time? You have to go between certain hours.
I think it's all day Thursday.
Oh, okay.
All right, so he's in there and do your shopping on Thursday.
You don't want to deal with the over 60 angry senior citizen group all the time.
They are. It is a whole different world, though.
But I thought it would spread
Holy
out
hell.
spread out the oldness over the course of 7 days instead of just one. They're all
Make them come
squeezed in
on a
there on
Thursday.
one day.
No, they do, and they yell at people. They block the aisles.
They don't care.
They don't care.
You got to nail it down one day to just get berated by them.
Right.
Yeah.
Pack them in on a Thursday and then be done with it. They changed, by the way. This is about grocery items. We saw this on the news this morning. The M&M characters have been changed. The female characters. Do you know what I'm talking about? The M&M characters?
Yeah, it's I guess I don't know if they're two males or a male and a female. I think it's two males, isn't it?
There's 7.
There's a whole bunch.
There's about 7 or 6.
Almost every color,
Okay.
right?
Yeah, every color is a character. They've changed the female M&Ms to be more inclusive.
Explain.
They took one and took off her boots that she was wearing and made her wear tennis shoes. And the other went from a stiletto heel to more of a flat.
More sensible, like a wedge.
And I looked at the before and after photo, and I literally couldn't tell which was which. It was
Even
like
with
you,
your glasses on?
No, you stare at it, and you're like, I don't even know what they're doing
But
here.
did you feel more included?
Completely.
Did it make you want M&Ms?
I had them. I went to the store.
It worked.
I went downstairs and I had them. Yeah, they're getting blasted by Twitter, going like, "You didn't change anything."
WTF?
Yeah, you changed their shoes. Who cares?
I bet you see them at the Super Bowl. Don't they typically advertise during the Super Bowl Sunday?
Yes, they do. And I guarantee they'll be on during the Super Bowl. Oh, and McDonald's. This is new food items as well. McDonald's has their new McPlant burger. Okay, I knew
We're
you'd
still doing this.
I wanted you to hear this, Dave. McDonald's has a McPlant, and they put it at 8 locations across 4 states. And it was so successful that they now have put it at 600 locations across 12 states. And they are going to go from there because it has been well received so far.
I would think some states better than others, yeah? The Californias and the...
Well,
Yeah, you'd think.
right
Florida.
now it did well in Iowa. It did well in Texas.
Wow.
It did well in California.
But those are beef. Those are farm country
I know,
states.
but it did do well enough there.
How about the big cities?
They have Beyond Meat has developed the McPlant alongside McDonald's. It's made from peas, rice, potatoes, and some other plant-based ingredients.
Eating like an infant.
They top it with lettuce, tomato, pickles, onions, mayonnaise, ketchup, mustard.
You know, years ago, I mean, sometimes my wife and I would have black bean burgers. They're good.
I agree.
But, I mean, you know what they are. They're not pretending to be
Yeah, they say black bean burgers.
meat. They taste like beans.
McDonald's says the McPlant has the taste of an iconic McDonald's burger and the texture. So it's like they are trying to pass off as, not black bean. It's because black bean has a different texture than the burger. This is, they say, the right texture for meat. And
Neither
again,
have that much beef. It wasn't that far of a trip.
right. I'm threatening to have this burger.
You've been threatening for years.
You have.
I'm threatening.
Burger King has that Whopper.
I am threatening
Beyond burgers,
to have
Impossible
this
burgers.
burger. I'm thinking about doing
And the
that.
Colonel's got his green stuff.
I know,
He's got a green chicken.
we just talked about that yesterday. That's
My
getting bad.
son-in-law said it's a good idea.
It got bad reviews. That chicken has gotten bad reviews.
If you like gravy, can you have the gravy at KFC? Is it chicken free?
I don't think so. I don't think they have a chicken free.
You think there's chicken in there? You think there's giblets like Mama used to make?
I think
They're saving the fixins.
I don't think so.
I don't know. That gravy's a little different, isn't it? That
It's completely different.
that KFC gravy. My mother loved that.
Really?
She loved their potatoes with gravy.
The gravy's better than potatoes.
Yeah,
They always taste just slightly industrial.
Yeah, they are.
That was what we liked in our house. The industrial. We like a little
To this day.
little chemical. You know,
For fun, go into KFC and loudly say, "Which one of you made the gravy?" And just,
Susan, is that you today?
which one of you chefs made the gravy?
It's this old bag, and they hold up a bag.
Who is chef?
I got an email from a P1 about this is a little bit about food and about teenagers. You know, I have a 16-year-old son that I talk about from time to time.
How's his appetite these days? Voracious?
Yeah, it is, and he never eats what we have for dinner. He'll pick at that and then make himself some ramen later, or something that we've got.
You're still going through the motion of 4 around the table?
We do that. We do that, and it's a silent, icy dinner. Mom has yelled at everybody. We eat.
Do you still have to do your best parts and worst parts of your day?
Yes, we do that. That's our rose and thorn.
Yeah.
And, sometimes he'll go, my thorn is this. And really.
He's not lying.
That gets us now.
Did you say yesterday or one day this week, or maybe you're saving this for a slow news day?
Mm-hmm.
My thorn is my son says my fire's gone out.
He did say my fire's gone out.
Well.
He said, maybe I should say that. He said, I'm dead inside. In fact, he asked me yesterday, when you were my age, were you like alive inside? And I said, yeah, I was alive inside. And he said, did you like my kind of music? And I said, no, I didn't. I never liked your kind of music.
What happened to you, man? Did you just kind of motion over your shoulder at his mom?
When would you say the fire went out?
About 20
I can't
pinpoint, but
years ago.
Yesterday he came down. He wanted to go to his friend. They had school in virtually, because we had winter weather. And he came down from his room and said, I'm going to my friend Sean's house. Can I go? And I was like, yeah, I don't care. Now his mother was in the bedroom. Okay. She was freshening up. She had gone to the bathroom in the bedroom. And he goes, okay, great. And she started to come out, and I looked at her. He goes, and he's out the door. He just motioned to me, and he was gone. Well, and then by the time he's out, where's he going? It's like,
Yeah.
he's going to his friend's house. Where these roads are. That's how it always happens. That's how it always happens for him.
I bet he eats on the way home, though, doesn't he? I used to do that all the time when I was driving.
Sometimes
I'd
he
leave
does.
school and hit the Arby's.
He does do a lot of that. He'll stop.
So you
and
go
get
home. You don't want anything to eat.
That's true. He eats a lot out, and we track that, but he spends too much at fast food restaurants.
What's his income source these days?
Yeah, how's he do that?
You're looking at him.
Oh.
This guy right here is his income source.
Well, as long as he's got good grades, that's all that matters.
Oh, right. Well, he's cleaning up in that department, you can imagine. I have an email from a 17-year-old here, a P1, who says, I hear you talk about your son sometimes. They're the same age. I'm 17. I listen to Chris and Chris. 3 days ago, I was eating Star Wars gummy candies with my girlfriend, and I bit an R2-D2 in half. My girlfriend looked at it and said, oh, that's cool. Now it's an R1-D1. She thought it was cute and was laughing, but I told her that's not how the numbering system for droids works. Tell your son never to do this. Big mistake.
Yeah. She don't care.
That's a pretty good comeback for the young lady.
I know. Now it's an R1-D1. That's not the way this numbering system for droids.
Who eats half a gummy?
Yeah, who bites it?
Unless it's a weed gummy.
She's better off without him.
Yeah, she could do better.
Yeah, that won't last.
Maybe it was a weed gummy. Maybe you're right. I don't know. That was weird. This is a story about love as well. We've chronicled this young woman for the last few weeks. She's the woman that Biggie knows. She's from 90 Day Fiancé. Her name is Stephanie Matto. And she sold her gas in mason jars, her flatulence in mason jars, and made $300,000. Now, the update a week ago was she had to stop because she got so much gastrointestinal distress because of what she was eating. She had to be rushed to the emergency room. You all recall.
Yeah.
So she can't do it anymore. Now she has updated herself again, telling her story on social media. 3 days ago, she was on a flight. She was going on vacation to a tropical location.
And what do? I'm a jar farter. I'm in corporate sales.
Yeah. And more than likely,
jars.
whatever resort she was going to probably paid for all her to go for free.
Probably.
So she'd put it on her social media.
Yeah, she's probably at that level of influence.
Oh, absolutely.
She said, I was sitting in business class with my mask on, and a young man next to me kept glancing over and finally said, you're the young lady that passes gas in jars. And she said, I am. He said, I'm Ron.
I bought 2 of your jars.
I'm taking them on vacation with me.
They hit it off instantly, and they were going to the same tropical location. So now she says, I'm in love. She has found love. He said, that
Finally.
was really a great idea to pass gas in your jars and sell them for so much money. She said, yeah, I made over $300,000, but, and she told him the whole story.
Imagine just the scenario, like a beachfront wedding in some beautiful tropical locale, and they both fart into the same jar and seal it. Yeah, right as the minister concludes the vows.
Like the lighting of the candles.
Like the lighting of the candle. I love the
The mixing
candle.
of the sand.
The mingling, I
the
love
jar.
that. It's beautiful.
So now she's found a fortune and she's found love.
Ridiculous.
They get a little kid to be the jar bearer.
Spraying it all over the place.
The clothespin on his nose.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Instead of a flower girl, somebody wafting down the aisle.
What a beautiful
Febreze.
Cardboard.
Well, I guess she gave up her celibacy
I
because
guess.
that's what she's on this 90 days. It's
90
kind
Day
of-
Fiancé.
Yeah, she's looking for love after her
Right.
split from her fiance, 90 Day
oh,
Fiancé.
okay.
I didn't know. Okay.
And her whole thing is she's giving up celibacy, or she's been celibate for 2 years. She's trying to lose it.
Okay.
And last week, you thought it was going to happen. You thought it was there, and then of course, find out she's like, I just couldn't do it at the end.
No.
She had she's bisexual.
Okay.
Her fiance was a woman, but she was going to try to lose her celibacy again to a man
Okay.
who was her high school boyfriend, who she first performed oral on.
Jeez, you know a lot about this young woman. You really
Wait a minute.
know.
Oh, I'm into this show, man. I am into this show. And I've told you she's attractive. So,
Oh, yeah. I've seen her. She's
mhm.
very attractive.
but she
yeah.
couldn't do it. The cameras were there up till the end, and they shut the door. And then it cuts to the next morning, and she's. I just couldn't give up my celibacy to him.
Well, this guy on the plane knew her whole story. He started
Much
by
like
saying-
Biggie.
Yeah. Yeah, that's my-
I'm telling you.
And she said, "This is our meet cute. We have met now. They're together."
People are into this show. I told you when she was cast in this season, people were in an uproar because they think, shocker, she's just on the show for her brand.
her social
You take
media.
that back.
The
I would say it to our face. Okay.
meanest thing you've ever said. Billy.
Dr. D.
No one talks about reality TV like that on this show.
Dr. D, you're talking about these teenagers. My son. Go ahead.
Yeah, so Kelly, I think you'll like this. This is a weather-related and teenage boy-related story. So I was driving home from work Sunday this last weekend at about 3 o'clock, right in the middle of all the sleet and freezing rain coming down, and I'm driving on a side street that's covered with snow. There's a sled hill nearby with a lot of kids on it, and there's a couple relatively tall kids about 20 feet in front of me, and I'm driving slow, waiting to see if they're going to, stop. One kid stops to let me pass. The other kid just walks right in front of my car by about 20 feet, sleet, snow. And I look at him, I couldn't, he was pretty tall. Look back at me, I flicked him off because he was right there.
Yeah.
And then I'm passing the other one, and the other one's my son.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I think I can relate to this.
That's right out of a
So that's your friend.
sitcom.
That's your son's friend, and then you've done the flip off. Did he reference it later? Did he bring it up to you and say, "Don't flip off my
Well,
friend"?
Yeah, he did. I told, hey, tell your buddy that if he doesn't, I won't tell his parents that he walked in front of a car if he doesn't tell his parents that I flipped him off.
Sounds
fair.
Sounds like a good deal to me.
Yeah.
Great story.